Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here with Martin Penev, Chief Account Executive and Trading Analyst, GDMFX. Welcome to today's European market session outlook. Starting with North American markets as usual. The industrial Dow went 16 points up, erasing Thursday's losses, as well as Nasdaq 16 points up. The Dixie index is down to 95.20 from 95.35. On Friday, we had ISM manufacturing PMI worse than expected 0.5 points. Initial and continuous jobless claims quite better than expected. Personal income month on month worse than expected by 0.2%. Personal spending worse than anticipated. Core personal consumption expenditure price index year on year. And Chicago Purchasing Managers Index better than expected. The GDP month-on-month in Canada went 0.1% better than expected. Today, we have the factory orders from the US month-on-month and a few Tier 3 events, ISM New York Index, also 3 and 6 month bill auctions, loan officer survey as well, and then we have two speeches from Mr. Evans and Member Williams today. By the end of the week, we have the ISM non-manufacturing PMI and FP data as well. In Canada on Friday, unemployment rate and net change in unemployment. Moving along to the European markets, we had small contraction on the DAX and the CAC 40 on Friday. And little move on the euro dollar as well. The euro had some positive moves versus the dollar and the pound last week. It has also moved significantly versus the Aussie and the Kiwi, as we managed to keep you quite well informed. However, this week, the European currency might have some turbulence on the charts as well. Today, the G7 meeting starts, where most probably Greece will be the main point of talks. And from the calendar, the manufacturing PMI reports from all over the European Union starts. Tomorrow, the European Commission will release its economic growth forecasts. The retail sales for the European Union will be released on Wednesday, along with a non-monetary policy meeting of the European Central Bank. Moving along to the UK markets, so the FTSE 100 lost 21 points on Friday and closed at 7,017 points. The data from the 1st of May showed that mortgage approvals fell unexpectedly prior to the election, signaling that the people are looking to buy a new home prefer to have the elections behind their back and are and a clear view basically of the housing policy from the new government. More importantly, the manufacturing sector contracted with 2.5 points, holding above the crucial 50 points range at 51.9. The contraction was the fifth in 7 months. This data came out 1 week before the general elections, where the race remains neck to neck for the two major parties. And it seems that smaller parties will play Kingsmaker as well. As a result, the pound erased its weekly gains against the greenback, falling with 320 pips in the beginning of May after a 3.6% gain in April. No events in the calendar for the pound sterling till the middle of the week. Going over to the Asian markets, on Friday, we had a few Tier 2 events, the labor cash earnings, which pretty much remained unchanged. And then we had the Nomura GMMA manufacturing PMI for April, which was 0.2% positive. And then we had the vehicle production year on year for April, which was negative 1.2%. Vehicle sales year on year, 8.1% positive. Basically, we had a holiday in Japan, Constitution Day, which was a national holiday. The yen had a negative trend on Friday against almost all of its major rivals, except the euro and the Swiss franc, where it gained slight strength. The greenery day is today. On Wednesday, we have also monetary base year-on-year for April. The previous reading was 35.2%. On Thursday, we had market services PMI. We also have the Bank of Japan monetary policy meeting minutes, which will be released. Moving along to the Pacific markets, a lot of events for the Pacific currencies, mostly for the Aussie. This week, starting from tonight, the RBA will print its interest rate decision along with the rate statement, the trade balance, which will include separate reports for imports and exports, and new home sales. On Wednesday, retail sales and performance in construction index are due. On Thursday, the unemployment and employment reports. On Friday, also the monetary policy statement will be published. For the Kiwi, for the New Zealand dollar, starting from Tuesday evening, the unemployment and employment data along with the labor costs reports. Last week, the Euro Australian dollar gained 630 points, declined with 220 points versus the Japanese yen and 330 points versus the Swiss franc. The euro versus the Kiwi, the pair climbed with 77 points last week, and the New Zealand dollar declined 22 points versus the dollar and almost 20 points versus the yen. Moving to the commodity sector, starting with the commodity trading S&P 500 index, which had a range of 21 points, close to 2,100 at the moment. Gold prices ended Friday's session at a 6-week low as traders monitored the direction of the dollar while speculating on the timing of the Federal Reserve rate hike. Last week, crude oil futures rose to the highest levels of the year on Friday, that was, before turning modestly lower as investors cashed out of the market to lock in gains from a recent rally. Crude oil hit weaker in Asia on Monday after a closely watched manufacturing survey in China did not meet the expectations. Changing leaders in China, by the way, will change oil and gas supplies over there, so traders should be alerted on the fundamental state. That was pretty much all from me for today. Thank you very much for your attention. Cheers and bye-bye.